This morning about New York City's plan to give migrants prepaid cards to buy their groceries. $53 million in taxpayer money has been set aside for this pilot program, and migrants receive up to $15,000 a year, or about $13 a day if you do the math there, to buy their food, household basics. Morning in America weekend anchor Henna Dova is live outside a migrant center in New York this morning. Henna, talk to us more about this. I understand there are some tight restrictions on how this money can be spent.
Good morning, Marky. Good morning, everyone. Tight restrictions and really a lot of controversy. We are in the heart of Midtown at the Roosevelt Hotel. Once upon a time, this was a very luxurious hotel in New York City. In the last few years, it's actually turned into a migrant processing center. And early on, when migrants were coming in, there would always be long lines along this hotel. Now, as for the prepaid card that you mentioned, it is funded by taxpayers, and migrants could get up to $15,000 per year. And as you can imagine, Marky, that is what's causing the controversy. Now, with the influx of migrants coming into this country along here in New York City, Mayor Eric Adams is hoping giving asylum seekers close to $13 a day to spend at local bodegas, grocery stores, convenience stores will only help stimulate the economy, citing it will ultimately save the city $600,000 a month, $7.2 million annually. Here's more from the mayor.
If we just sit back and just state we're going to just allow people to be here forever and just continue to hit taxpayers with dollars, not trying things new and different, we're not going to solve this problem.
Now, under this plan, migrants will receive $12.52 a day, like you mentioned, Marky, about $13, and will only be able to buy food and baby supplies each month at, like I mentioned, bodegas. Let's write down the numbers here. For a single migrant, they can get up to $345. A family of four, close to $1,200 a month. A family of eight could get up to $2,200 a month. Now, the program is designed to replace the boxes of non-perishable foods given out to migrant families that we're told mostly ends up in the trash. Now, according to Mayor Adams, this will enable migrants to buy food that they want to eat, which will in turn reduce waste. But the plan to hand out these taxpayer-funded cards is not sitting well with a lot of New Yorkers.
They should help more of the people that already is in the city. You know, not those migrants that are already coming. And yeah, they should be helping us more. That we're working legally and making the things right by the book.
Now, News Nation has reached out to the mayor's office. They sent us this statement. It says the suggestion that New York City is handing out thousands of dollars in free cash to migrants who are only in our care for 60 days is not only false, but also contractually impossible. He said this is expected to save the city millions of dollars. Now, the city has not announced an official start date, but we know 500 cards will be given out initially right here at the Roosevelt Hotel. If this initiative is successful, it will expand to 6,500 families. Marky, back to you.
Yeah, some people see it as gracious. Others, to your point, not so happy that it'll continue making New York a magnet for these migrants. Henna Dova, thank you so much. And everybody be sure style. Daryl George is a high school junior just outside of Houston. And for most of the school year, he's been in suspension or in a disciplinary program off-site for violating the district's dress code. They say his hair is too long. His family has filed a complaint and a civil rights lawsuit against the Texas governor and attorney general for not enforcing a law that they say protects their child. Kelsey Kernstein has been following today's trial. And Kelsey, you're hearing that this judge is up against a whole lot of pressure, and also that this ruling could have far-wide implications across Texas.
Marky, that is exactly right. I mean, you've got a lot of people that are watching this case, and this judge could really face a lot of scrutiny and backlash on this case, depending on what the outcome depends on what it could be. Now, we spoke to an attorney who crafted the Crown Act and says that if George's family wins this case, that there's about 500 districts in Texas who may need to amend their boys-only dress code policies. A junior high school student, Daryl George, right here on your screen, has been disciplined for the majority of the school year at Barbers Hill High School. Now, his punishment comes after school officials in August of last year stated that George's twisted dreadlocks on top of his head were in violation of the school's dress code. Per the school's handbook, it specifically regulates the length of boys' hair. It states that it should not exceed past the eyebrows or earlobes.
Why should we have to cut his hair?
That's right.
It's not, it's, why? Like, really, why? His hair is not affecting his education. They have many mothers out here that's pushing, trying to get their kids to go to school.
That's right.
I have a son, 18 years old, that wants to go to school, that wants to get his education. And y'all messing with him. Why?
It's just been stressful. It's just been angering and frustrating because why me out of everybody in that school? Why me?
So George's family is arguing that this punishment violates the Crown Act in Texas, which Governor Greg Abbott signed into law last May. Now, the law prohibits any race-based hair discrimination in the workplace, schools, and housing facilities. However, some school officials have argued that the act does not address hair length. The lawmakers involved in drafting the act have said that its very purpose is to protect hairstyles like George's. Also very interesting to point out here that the district superintendent has said that the punishment is not over George's hair, but for reasons they would not disclose. And we were told if the district loses this case, they will try to appeal it. Marky?
And a lot of people watching this one closely. Kelsey, thank you. Two teams, and they're making history while doing it. We are about to speak live with the first ever to sign a college cornhole scholarship. I also want some tips and tricks. How do you beat, your friends when you head to your own backyards this weekend? That's straight ahead. This in your own backyard during a party, probably throwing back a beer while you're at it. But two 17-year-old high school seniors from Colorado are making cornhole a career. You are looking at the high school national cornhole champions for 2021 and 2022. Jackson Remick and Gavin Hammond, their talents have earned them the first ever college scholarships for cornhole at Winthrop University in South Carolina. They join us live this morning. Thank you both for being here. Jackson and Gavin, a huge congratulations. There's a first for everything. The two of you said, well, heck, might as well be us. How does it feel to be the recipients of this? Jackson, I'll start with you.
Oh, it's awesome. It's such a surprise to us because we never thought that we could take cornhole to where we are now. It's a super awesome experience that we're just excited to be around for.
Gavin, we know cornhole isn't an NCAA sanctioned sport, right? So how did you make this happen?
It really wasn't an option about 2 months ago. We both had our own plans after college, and then Dusty Thompson at Winthrop University hit us up and told us about this opportunity, and we were just ecstatic and excited that we could take this kind of side hobby and make it a D1 sport in college.
Well, I know a whole lot of other people are listening to your story saying, hey, this could be me too. I'm pretty good at cornhole. Jackson, take us back to the beginning for you. When did you first, I always think I'm pretty decent because I've usually had a couple margaritas, in my system at the time, but when did you realize hey, I'm really good at this sport and this could take me places?
Well, I started probably right around COVID, but I didn't start competitively playing until about 2 years ago. That's when we started to kind of beat up on people. Then we're like, okay, maybe we can take this and build on it.
Yeah. Gavin, how far do you want to take this? We were all talking earlier here in the newsroom. Do you guys have agents? What about name, image, and likeness deals? Are those expected to come your way?
Yeah, I'm ready for whatever's to come. I don't really know what's to come, but I think my goal, where I want to take cornhole is just after college, go pro, get some national champions behind our belt. But yeah, I think right now, just kind of make the most of it and see where it takes us.
Yeah. Jackson, what's your vision for the future?
Hopefully go pro. But first, with these 4 years in college, hopefully we take all 4 years for the college national championship so we can have the high school and college under our belt. So that'd be pretty awesome to have.
What do you all tell folks who say that this is just a backyard sport, that you play with your friends or family around a barbecue? What do you tell people who say those kinds of things to you?
I tell everybody that I play cornhole, and I tell them it's a real sport. It's the same competitiveness, it's the same mental game as any other sport, just not as much on the physical side. And I think that's why me and Jackson both love it, because we've both been playing sports all our life, and this is just kind of a newer way to play that sport. have that competitive aspect.